Los secretarios del gabinete de Donald Trump pareciera que estuvieran en competencias diarias de quién es peor haciendo su trabajo. Y ayer, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., el secretario de la Salud y Servicios Humanos de Estados Unidos, tuvo la oportunidad de demostrar que él es el peor de todos, y recibió algo de ayuda de parte de Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, quien lo destrozó no solo por su corrupción, no solo por su incompetencia, sino por la criminalidad en la que él está involucrado durante toda la administración de Donald Trump. Y esto dejó realmente mal a Robert F. Kennedy Jr., el cual está de más decirlo, pero es una deshonra para el nombre de su tío, John F. Kennedy. Así que mira este video de Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez destrozando a Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Secretary Kennedy, for being here today. It's actually not our first time meeting. We met a very, very long time ago when I was 9 years old in Westchester Putnam County at a Riverkeeper event. And I remember back then you talking about the importance of science and environmental action at that time. Listening to a lot of your discussion and a lot of the messages that you provide to people, you talk a lot about corporate influence and corruption in government. And this is an area that's very important to me, and it's an area that I do a lot of work in. I am, as a public servant, completely financially divested of any conflicts of interest with any healthcare companies, any stocks, any lawsuits that I would financially benefit from. Are you?
Yes.
You're completely divested.
Yes.
You have no financial interest in any lawsuit, crypto, none of that.
No. Oh, okay. Crypto? I own Bitcoin.
Okay. And do you have any other securities or assets?
I don't. I mean, I had to go through this with the Office of Government Ethics, and I had a few interests that were very minor that I divested.
Okay, just checking. I'd always like to.
It's a good question.
I always like to know
what
what the field is before I enter conversations. So thank you for that. In the healthcare space, something that we've both spoken to is that some of the worst actors are in the for-profit medical space. Are in for-profit health insurance, big pharma, et cetera. And one of the worst companies, actually, is United Healthcare in this respect. United Healthcare is the largest health insurance company in the country. They are the largest employer of doctors and own thousands of pharmacies, clinics, surgery centers, and home health agencies, as well as hospice providers. Secretary Kennedy, are you aware that President Trump's Department of Justice is reportedly investigating United Healthcare for criminal insurance fraud in some of their for-profit health insurance plans, like Medicare Advantage?
I'm not aware of that investigation.
You are not aware that the Trump Department of Justice is investigating the largest insurance company in America that
No, I'm not aware of
for fraud in Medicare Advantage?
No, I'm not aware of that.
That you have jurisdiction over?
It doesn't surprise me.
Okay. In your submitted testimony, you said HHS takes seriously our role as responsible stewards of taxpayer dollars. Are you aware that for-profit insurance corporations like United Healthcare have been found to be defrauding public dollars of more than $80 billion a year?
I'm not aware of that number, but
You're
I'm
not
aware
aware
that
of
there's
that?
fraud across the for-profit sector.
Respectfully, Secretary Kennedy, if we're making decisions around waste, fraud, and abuse, this is the largest source of waste, fraud, and abuse of public dollars in the public insurance space.
You say $80 million?
$80 billion a year.
80, did you say 80 million or 80 billion?
80 with a B, billion.
With a B,
yeah. If that's the case, why did you nearly double the rate that taxpayer dollars give for-profit insurance companies like United next year, if you don't know those things?
Double the rate? How did I do that?
So your agency nearly doubled the taxpayer dollars that for-profit insurance corporations like United will be paid next year, meaning these companies, the largest of whom is under investigation, criminal investigation by the Trump administration, will be receiving an additional $25 billion from your agency.
How is that happening?
I would be happy to submit to the congressional record evidence of this. I will enter the CMS press release from April 7th of 2025 into the record, which states that Medicare Advantage corporations will now receive a 5.06% increase in payments next year under your jurisdiction, Mr. Secretary. This is up from 2.2%.
I mean, we're raising
Without
was
objection.
proposed from the Biden administration. You are doubling the rate that the Biden
The gentlelady's
these
time has
criminally
expired.
investigated companies
The gentlelady's time has
receiving.
expired.
Son terribles para mentir. Por eso hay tanta evasión, tanta pose. Esta proyección del MAGA que hace pensar al mundo que realmente les importa cuando no es así. Y Robert F. Kennedy Jr. es un ejemplo perfecto de esto. Yo no conozco de alguien que haya llegado más lejos de lo que ha llegado este hombre haciendo lo contrario a lo cual era su objetivo principal. Bueno, o al menos a lo que afirmaba públicamente que era su objetivo principal. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. afirma que quiere hacer a Estados Unidos más saludable. Todo esto mientras recortan los fondos para la investigación del cáncer pediátrico, mientras millones de estadounidenses pierden los cupos alimenticios, mientras Donald Trump desmantela activamente el sistema de salud pública. ¿Qué parte de todo esto hace a un Estados Unidos más sano? Robert F. Kennedy Jr. pasa casi todo su tiempo contradiciendo ciencia ya probada y prefiriendo bañarse en pantanos llenos de químicos. Todo esto en lugar de realmente hablar de salud, que es lo que a él le concierne, y tema sobre el que no sabe absolutamente nada. Y Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez lo dejó muy claro. Es increíble el nivel de corrupción e incompetencia que vemos con este hombre. Todos sabemos que Robert F. Kennedy Jr. está en este cargo únicamente para beneficiarse a él mismo y para poco a poco atraer a personas a su pseudociencia, lo cual por cierto es un modelo de negocio muy exitoso para él. Las camisetas antivacunas y la ropa infantil que vende le está generando bastantes ingresos, pero no hace lo que tiene que hacer, que es ayudar al pueblo estadounidense. Y de hecho Robert F. Kennedy Jr. pareciera que lo sabe, parece que sabe que no está haciendo su trabajo y únicamente está ganando millones de dólares aprovechando de que tiene un cargo público. También aprovechándose del gran nombre de su tío, John F. Kennedy, misma razón por la cual muchas personas pensaron que él sería igual, un hombre honesto, un hombre que busca el bien y confían en este destrozo de ser humano. Pero bueno, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. fue interrogado por el congresista D. Gates y al no tener respuesta simplemente se desmoronó. Miren el clip.
Judge William Young, a Reagan appointee, said that the administration's explanations for terminating the grants were, quote, bereft of reasoning virtually in their entirety, end quote. He added, quote, I've sat on this bench now for 40 years, and I've never seen government racial discrimination like this, end quote. Mr. Secretary, I have a yes or no question. Does the department intend to comply with Judge Young's ruling? Yes or no?
I will comply with
Yes
the
or
law.
no, sir?
I'll comply with the law.
Thank you. As reported, in your opening statement, Mr. Secretary, you said that you're committed to reducing bureaucracy. But as reported in the Washington Post on April 17, 2025, HHS imposed a new layer of bureaucratic review by which every disbursement has to go through political appointments at HHS. Hospitals, universities, and community health organizations have told me and the other members lately that funds are stuck at HHS due to this so-called Defend the Spend initiative. I asked you about this in the April 23rd letter over 2 months ago, to which you have not responded, and I'd like some answers. Yes or no? Did HHS conduct a cost-benefit analysis on the Defend the Spend procedures?
I don't know anything
You
about
don't
that
know,
Washington
okay.
Post article.
In letters, you don't know whether you did a cost-benefit analysis, right?
I don't know. I know that. I don't
Okay.
know anything about that Washington Post article. I
No,
don't
do you
believe
know
it's
anything about the Defend the Spend initiative?
About what?
The Defend the Spend initiative that your agency has? You don't know about it. Mr. Chairman, I have an article here dated April 17, 2025, about the Defend the Spend initiative. I'd like unanimous consent to enter it into the
Without objection.
Now, in Mr. Secretary, on June 9th, hundreds of NIH scientists sounded the alarm on how this administration has wasted millions of research dollars, injected politics into science, and damaged the public trust. 68 Nobel laureates signed this letter. On June 10th, We sent you a letter. Of course, we haven't gotten a response with our concerns that you or your staff might retaliate against them for telling the truth. So here's my question. Will you commit today that neither you or anyone else at HHS will take any retaliatory action against the brave scientists that work at NIH? This should be an easy answer because it's illegal.
I can commit that we are absolutely depoliticizing science at
Will
NIH
you
for the
commit
first
that
time.
you will not take any
Biden
retaliation?
administration,
Excuse me.
Ms. Chairwoman, the Biden administration politicizes science, and I just gave you 3 of thousands of examples of how they did that.
Excuse me, sir. I asked you a simple question. Will you commit to not taking retaliatory action against the NIH scientists that signed the letter about the research dollars? Yes
I don't
or no?
know anything about that letter.
You don't know about the letter?
No,
okay.
I don't know anything about that letter. This is the
Okay, well,
first
we'll
I've
put
heard
that,
of it.
we already put that, our question in the record. I'd like a response. Now, in my last few minutes, in our letters dated February 28th, April 1st, and May 28th, to which you did not respond, we have some questions about reductions in force. How many HHS employees received RIF notices since you were sworn in?
I think around 10,000.
10,000. Did you personally approve those layoff decisions?
Of each one, I approved of the policy.
Thank you. You approved the policy. Your NIH director, Jay Bhattacharya, told employees, quote, I actually don't have any transparency into how those decisions were made, and I was quite upset about that. It would have been nice to have some say. I guess I'll follow up with more written questions, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. The General Lady yield.
Este es exactamente el tipo de confrontación que se le tienen que hacer a todos estos dirigentes republicanos. Preguntas directas, preguntas específicas, preguntas que no le permitan irse por las ramas, que vayan directamente al grano, porque el 90% de estos republicanos no saben cómo responder. Y no digo que todos sean tontos. El hecho es que cuando estás haciendo cosas mal, por lo general se nota. De hecho, hace unos días yo estaba viendo un reportaje de que alguien hablaba exactamente de esto. Que los periodistas hacen preguntas como por el estilo, bueno, ¿es posible que en el futuro estuviéramos involucrados? Lo hicimos. Y las respuestas de Donald Trump son las siguientes. Va a ser enorme, va a ser grandioso, incluso potencialmente mucho mejor. Es como que hay que presionar y seguir presionando hasta que responda la pregunta. No te puedes soltar ni un centímetro ni dejar que desvaríe el tema porque lo aprovechan para cambiarlo. Y también hay que aprovechar que actualmente la impopularidad de Donald Trump está por las nubes. Así que estas personas ya no pueden decir lo que sea porque tienen que caerle bien al pueblo. Y si dicen muchas cosas que estén en contra del pensamiento del pueblo, van a ser aún más impopulares y esto es lo que no quieren. Pero bueno, para mí lo más importante es saber cuál es tu opinión al respecto y me encantaría que me la pongas en los comentarios. Me encantaría que me digas tu opinión sobre este hombre, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. No sé si lo conozcas, no sé si lo habías conocido, pero es una persona totalmente detestable. Y está de más decirlo, pero es incompetente para el cargo que tiene. Me encantaría saber tu respuesta en los comentarios y está de más decirlo, pero si te gusta saber de noticias estadounidenses, te va a encantar suscribirte al canal, ya que subo videos todos los días. Mi nombre es José Alvarado, soy economista y estoy comprometido a informarte diariamente. Nos vemos en el siguiente video. Adiós.